That brings me to another point about kids. I will never turn down $10 million federal grants to feed. And I will not tolerate some weird pseudo-morality people telling me that they care about kids, or that they care about babies, or that they care about needy children, and then refusing. Look, Greg Gianforte can do paperwork to evade taxes when he buys big mansions. He can do all the paperwork that's necessary to fill out forms for agricultural tax exemptions on his property. But he can't fill out federal forms to get $10 million to feed Montana kids? Come on, come on. That is not the Montana that we know and love. And the only reason that is happening is because Greg Gianforte has such a hatred for government and governmental assistance that he is willing to sacrifice good, well-meaning, deserving Montana children. That's a starvation policy. Greg Gianforte wants to be in the doctor's office with every single woman in this state. He wants to make your health care decisions. He wants to tell, somehow he thinks it's okay to tell 13-year-old girls who have been raped that they must carry that baby. It's wrong. It's creepy. It's un-American. He wants to take that freedom from you. And you do not have to take my word for this. He stood up on May 3rd of last year and said that Senate Bill 154 was one of his proudest achievements. Senate Bill 154 says that he's going to strip the right to privacy from the Constitution. I take him at his word. I suggest everybody in this room take him at his word. I suggest that every woman in this city take him at his word. It's wrong. I will not allow for it. On day one, I will do everything possible to roll back the restrictions that he has put in place. I will veto any further restrictions. I will say hell no to this weird morality telling women what they can and cannot do with their bodies. I will fight for it, I will campaign for it, and I will govern it. With that, I'm happy to take any questions. Almost totally dismantled DPHHS, and these working people, they need this health care coverage. And it is evil to allow these working people and these needy kids to be without health care, and then to have a waiting list of 41,000 people trying to reapply through an inept DPHHS system. And I want to say, the good, hardworking people that are slugging it out at DPHHS to try to make this work, and try to do the right thing for Montana people, you are heroes. But the administration that is ripping apart this organization, the purposefulness with which Gianforte has gone after these working people and made it hard for these people to reapply, it is evil, and it has nothing to do with Montana that any of us live and love. It has to be changed. We must rebalance our tax system for fairness. The reason our property taxes had to go up is because they purposely reduced the tax burden on millionaires, billionaires, and corporations. And so the people of Montana are left shouldering an inordinate and increasing amount of our tax burden. We must make that fair again. There are many Republicans across this state who are just as upset about this as I am, if not more. And I will pledge to work with those Republicans to rebalance and recreate a fair tax system for Montana. For the entire world, certainly for the country, but for the world as far as wildlife agencies go. And that's because we hired and respected the very best scientists, the very best law enforcement professionals. We adhered to the North American wildlife model. We avoided commercialization. But now, these elk, these rivers, these trout, these mountains, These things are just dollar signs for Greg Gianforte too. So, you can hardly go a minute if you're in hunting circles and not hear from Montana residents. I can't go anywhere without out-of-staters being in some new hunting camp or hunting a place that I never was. And that's not by accident, because the Gianforte administration has put non-resident tag allocation on steroids. There are far too many non-resident tags issued for elk and deer, far too many. And our Montana residents and our North American wildlife model are suffering because of it. To make it even worse, Gianforte has pushed over and over and over for commercialization of wildlife to basically monetize what an elk or a deer is worth. That's wrong. It is discrediting our wildlife agency, and I have the utmost respect for the professionals in FWP. And I just want to tell you, hang on, help's coming. Right, we're going to rebuild this.